Hi, I'm Valerie Engelhart, and in this video I'm going to take you through the process of painting a realistic version of Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, I love to participate in the Games Done Quick bi-yearly charity events, the big marathon ones. Awesome Games Done Quick, which happens in around January, and Summer Games Done Quick, which usually happens around July. So this one, I'm pitching, I haven't gotten word yet, but I hope it's accepted, as a prize incentive for the event. I am awful at playing video games, like really terrible. You can't just tell me to get good. My reaction time is abysmal, which is why I'm good at Pokemon. Any game that is very slow, I can do. If I have to move quickly and jump or shoot something, I'm done. So right now in this painting, I am just working on the eye because that is the point where I'm going to build everything away from. So I'm going to start with the eye, then build out the face, and then the body, then the background, etc. And on the right side, you can see where I was testing some of my colors to see, well, one, to practice my eye technique, but also to see what colors would give me good value contrast, look pretty together, and would still say Sonic. So the colors I have picked are a quinacridone burnt orange to give some warmth and light to, well, the more natural looking parts like the eye and warm parts of the fur. And the blues, I'm using some granulating paint by Rockwell Canada called Paliba Diamond Blue. That's my favorite. And it's kind of a blue-green color. And I'm also using, I think it's called Poseidon's Tears. No, that can't be right. You know what? I'm actually going to have to look it up here. So there's a bunch of words that I put together that aren't that color. So this color is called Blue Enchantress. So both of those are by Rockwell Canada, the blues that I'm using. So here in the painting, I am building out the face, and pay attention to the shape. It looks very triangular, but from my reference image, that's what the head of a hedgehog looks like when you look at it from the side. So I'm not really painting a hedgehog, I'm painting a triangle in pretty blue colors, and paying attention to where tones are lighter or darker to give this little hedgehog form. And so why realistic Sonic the Hedgehog? Well, that's because I don't really paint cartoony things, but I really want to participate with my art skills in this event. So since my style is more of an abstract realism, I thought, oh, well, you know, hedgehogs are real things. I can just paint a real hedgehog, but make it blue. Because Sonic the Hedgehog is iconic. I think everyone knows who Sonic is. Hi, Valerie here. I just wanted to pop in real quick and ask, do you want to paint with bold, vibrant watercolor? Well, I teach you how to paint this beautiful, dare I say, elegant elephant using bright tube paints and lovely texture effects. Just go down to the link below, and it doesn't cost any money. Sign up and you get a free watercolor lesson along with the line art so you can follow along. Okay, back to the video. And we're back. And all I'm doing is slowly filling out the body now of the hedgehog. So I have sped this video up a little bit, otherwise we would be here a lot longer. And that is one of the things about watercolor is, I think from all of the sped up videos, a lot of people think that you have to paint really, really fast. And while you do need to pay attention to your timing, especially if you live somewhere very dry, because the watercolor will dry more quickly, you don't want to go too fast. It is a good idea to take your time. And so Even though this piece is moving fairly quickly, I am actually taking my time with it, studying my shapes and my values. Here I've grabbed a size 2 rigger brush and I am just tapping it down to create the illusions of like those little spikes on its back, its little quills. I'm bleeding some of it away because if I just do all of those spikes on a white background, that is going to be incredibly stark, and I'll lose some of that realism, well, dreamy realism I'm going for. I guess when I say realism, my proportions and my values and shapes I try to keep pretty real, but the colors and dreaminess are where I like to pull out my artistic license. Now, this particular hedgehog painting was really only supposed to be a study. In this particular photo, it's a hedgehog that you see from the side, but it's kind of curled or curved, so its back end is actually, you can't see it, it's facing away from the viewer. Oh, I guess I should explain it. This part I'm putting in the mouth, but I don't want it to be a harsh straight line. That's why I broke it up and added some dots in a couple places instead of just one line. It just makes it more interesting and gives that illusion of fur. But anyway, this was intended to be a study before moving on to the real piece. But two things happened. One, when I moved on to the real piece, I didn't like it. So quote unquote real piece. And I came back to this study and I couldn't get it out of my head. I loved it so much. I thought it was so cute that this is the piece I actually grabbed and finished up to make it my submission. Now, because it's important to pay attention to the dampness of your surface, I will often dance around a piece. So I'll work on the face a while, then go work on the back, and then once the face is dry, go back to the face, and go back and forth. That way I'm not having to wait forever for a piece to dry and then just finish one piece. It also lets colors remain a little more cohesive, especially for the kind of person who really tries to mix the perfect hue. Because even if you do a really good mix on one part of the body and then let it completely dry and have to remix paint and go to the other side of the body in watercolor, it could become obvious that you took a break. So it's really nice to, even if just a little bit, go take that color that you've mixed to other parts of your subject. Right there, I'm putting in the nostril, being careful not to give Sonic a little piggy nose. And this rigger brush is one I just picked up for my birthday. It is a tiny little thing with a sharp point, and I love it. It is perfect for adding in those really fine details and giving that line around the eye. Though, of course, I don't trace around the entire eye. I don't want to give him eyeliner, but I do, again, want to create that sense of depth. So at this point, I've gone and grabbed some of my Daniel Smith Iridescent Electric Blue because I do want to add some shimmer and sparkle because I love adding glittery things to my paintings. But also, just Sonic is so fast, and so having a color called Electric Blue, it just seemed like the right thing to do. Now, because I decided to make this piece the actual piece instead of just a study, it really needs a background. I usually don't put backgrounds in after painting a subject, so this was just me YOLOing it. I've grabbed the blue enchantress, throwing in some of that burnt quinacridone orange, and I am being very loose and wet, holding up my painting to tilt things, let the water and pigment flow into other areas. Like there, I'm tilting it back to let the water flow back away from our hedgehog, because I don't want this to start covering up the work I've already done. And I'm making sure to use the exact same colors I used in Sonic to bring cohesion to the piece. Now I've grabbed a little bit of table salt, kosher table salt, and I'm just sprinkling it on my damp wash to create some texture. And for even more texture, some cling film is being scrunched up in that lower left corner. Alright, background has dried and I do have some lovely icy textures. I've pulled out this, I'm not really sure what it is, some sort of a template that I bought years ago but never used. But I figured that, oh, it's in the shape of a circle and I want to put these rings in a circle, so it'll help me space my little golden rings out perfectly. I've just used the cap of my spritzer bottle with a little bit of gold gouache to create those gold rings that Sonic would collect in the game. And all I'm doing is stamping that cap into the paint and tapping it on. And I really do like that it is a very imperfect looking ring. It makes it a bit more organic. Now I've broken out my compass, which is another tool I don't think I've used in the many years I've had it until this point. So I've grabbed a Prismacolor watercolor pencil so that when the water hits it from the paint, it'll just sort of bleed in. And it's also such a light color that it's not going to be distracting. And I'm just mapping out where I'm going to put that outer circle of rings. All right, and here's the finished painting. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, press that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And if you have any video game fan art suggestions for me, leave a comment below. I'll definitely check it out. I post videos every week, so if you want to see more, I will see you again next Thursday. All right, happy painting. Bye.